Should once again look at the standings and see where we stand. The two teams that are going up against each other today in the beginning will be T1 versus KT there on the right side. As T1 is actually currently tied for 5th with Bro. A couple of disappointing losses for the T1 fans and the T1 team. They're looking to bounce back hard here against KT, who are looking really strong, especially in the beginning, but it always feels like the scoreline still hasn't matched where their current potential is. Sure. Here's our pick ban percent top 5 from week 3. See that Lee Sin is just all over the place alongside of Akali, who, while she does get banned all the time, the 2 times she was played.
You could see the win rate. This is actually KT's Game 1 score, Game 2, and Game 3 score. All 4 series they've lost. Actually, they've lost in Game 3, and almost every one of those Game 3s has been extremely close, but they have not been able to close out any of the late games they've played in those 3 games. They're just below T1, as mentioned in the standings. T1, you know, you can look at these stats, goal difference at 25, they're first, but their late game has actually been their biggest issue. Right, going to be our key player matchup, Dove versus Faker, and Faker has had a pretty good season. You can see his goal difference at 15 is actually the highest. That means he's, you know, actually outdoing Chovy in that regard in terms of that laning. Second in terms of experience difference. So his laning phase has been pretty perfect almost across the board.
I would imagine we see one of those. They don't go ahead and have to pick it right away, as Lux is going to be hovered, but
that would certainly be interesting.
Yeah, that would be a fun game, actually.
All right, well, it's going to happen.
Huh.
And this, and you see the reaction here is immediately Harp actually laughs, but, and Akali's not like straight dive, but, you know, she is very highly mobile. The lockdown that Twisted Fate has means that if she does decide to go in and Twisted Fate's in position to actually gold card her, then you're often not going to get out. I just don't know if he will get those resets in the fights. Is Harp? Yeah. Read against an Ezreal here with your E as Lux. Like, you can't miss that, really, as Keria is going to go very
He's igniting. I mean, they're going for the kill, and there it is. First blood. 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Keria says, get out of my lane.
Well, I guess, you know, we could talk about what you could do in terms of sustain, how much poke you have.
You might not even get the scuttle with the priority from top lane.
Yeah, Blank's over here.
Faker has no idea. They have 0 idea that Doran is here.
Yikes.
This was not communicated. Nobody knew on the side of T1, and he just slips on down and picks up a kill.
This is the kind of telecom where you and I thought we were going to get today, as this time the heal goes through. Oh boy.
Yeah, saving it for the second fight, I guess.
Down. He still has a pretty significant CS lead, as we are going to watch this Ignite play once again. Yeah. He's in the brush, they don't see him.
Calling for level 2. I'm going to go for it.
바텀 딸피.
Yep.
Wow.
He's super low.
Nice.
Got him. Wow, nice.
이거 세나 텔 아니?
Believe it. And then we're going to watch this play once again. Faker is just completely collapsed on all sides. There's no call that Doran is here. Like, he clearly would not have been there if he knew that Doran was there, and that's just to do. Okay, this is not a great place to be.
Harp is going to get ignited again, and the binding is going to miss. Harp is going to have to flash here, but he's still absolutely dead. The TP comes in. Cuz is here, and Doran is going to have to back away, as he's even going to get rooted down. And they're still trading here. As Noah tries
to... We're seeing this Lux come through, but we saw KT, they were the first team to actually play, like, technically the support Lee Sin, right? And that didn't go well for them. This feels like another situation where it's a cool idea, but this is clearly not as well practiced as a lot of the other comps we're seeing them run the bottom lane, a lot of the more meta comps. Like, what is this heal? Like, you're trying to catch them with Doran here, but they're already... Oh, if he uses this gold card...
Yeah, certainly baited here. Nice dodge on the Shuriken. Faker will be able to step away from that one. As here we go again. I mean, this is not going to be a fun time. I mean, Ezreal's...
Faker, if he pushes forward, he will be vulnerable, but he's really respecting the positioning. Well, I say that.
I think he saw Blank walk in there. They have it warded. And because there's no jungle, you see Keria and Teddy are just like, yeah.
There's no ward in this brush right now, but the control ward that's in the
They saw him, yeah.
Is the problem. And Faker still might get caught.
Yeah, he's just going to move away from the ultimate. No stun comes in, and Faker just kind of laughs at them. As he's able to flash away, trades it with the Volibear. And he'll be happy to do.
Doesn't have to do anything with flash. As Keria is here.
Like this, the flash comes in, and no Shroud here for Dove. He does have the equalizer as well. as easily Dove will be taken down. Really nice team play there from T1 because it also opens up the Rift Herald. That bottom lane is just an Ezreal paradise right now.
He's already gotten 2 plates on top of that too. Sure, he's gotten only half the gold from that, but we're gonna watch this fight once again. It's really well played here by Keria. Comes through. Mantra's the Sweet, one of my new favorite players this season. He hasn't been so great with that so far.
This is what happens. I mean, Karma just dodges everything, and so does the Ezreal. Faker's gonna come in here and clean up, as that'll be 2 kills. TP now looking for Teddy's gonna land that, but the stun comes in, and Dove will be clean on the kill. Picks that up and will walk away with his life.
Akali comes through and starts slicing people up who are low health. I mean, it can work. It can. But I'm not sold on this build. I'm not sold on Harp's performance here, unfortunately, in this game either. I mean, like you said, it's hard against the Karma, but
not a single skill shot hit, okay? You're just not able to hit it against these two. Yeah, that's why this lane is so questionable. It's Kana while this happens, and it's not even Soul Point. I mean, it's just the second Drake. It's not the end of the day, and here we go. Dove is just being burnt down. And it looks like he will just barely survive, but again, he has to kind of evacuate the lane, and that's more pressure here for T1.
Ain't either, so this is that ultimate right there is the state of the game.
Oh no, Rumble's here too. This is what we talked about in terms of target acquisition. Whatever. Now we're gonna take everything else. And they had a ward to help spot this out, by the way, even though they would have seen the laser coming in, but allows them to react even quicker.
Yep. Noah comes over on the side, but there's nothing he can do. He's not start to lose control of the map. There's a Rift Herald here crashing not into the mid turret, not the outer turret, the inner turret.
Yeah, they're not even going for the dragon just yet. They're still trying to get even more value, and they can take that because the map is theirs. Trying to farm out because he knows he can't do anything in a real fight. As they're trying to get on top of Doran, who's relatively tanky, and with the TP coming in here, maybe KT can get something on the back of this as Keria and Kana are going to be caught out, although Keria is not going to get out, as here we go, follow-up coming on in. They're trying to get on top of Cuz as well, as he might be in a bit of trouble. You see Teddy trying to kite them out, but not quite able to. And this is a bit unfortunate for KT, or rather T1, that they have kind of bled a couple of members. But
yeah, it's possible it's not that kind of game, but just some small mistakes here and some really big oversteps from T1. It ends up costing them big because they have Rumble solo on the Drake right now. He can't step away from that. And you have to respect that this composition of T1, rather, it needs to all be grouped to actually fight properly. In these skirmishes, you will just get run down by a Polybear who can stun you, as an Akali with him who can engage from long range. You know, you can't just be in these small, 2v3 fights as T1 right now. You're not that ahead.
Yeah, and it was just one ward, that they didn't spot out. They spotted the TP a little bit late, and they were way far down the lane and didn't react on time. So.
Whatsoever. Like, they could all be in that brush, so you have to slowly group up to toss a ward in there to clear it. But by the time you're here,
they do have a Lux. The Lux is going to help out in terms of vision. Again, the question is, can they deal with the turn? As we got to,
well, hold that thought.
All right, 2v1, this should be difficult for Faker. He's trying to get out of here, though, as he will. Maybe a little bit too close, but actually with the Everfrost, he will be fine. As Kana still having fun when it's 1v1. How about a snipe? Nope. Yep. Now, you got to be careful doing this, okay? They're going to get some information now with the ward, but just charging down the lane.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no. just back away. They do have some sustain with this Senna, but it's not going to be easy. They have pulled this Drake into a really nice spot, but they can't really deny Cuz entry into this one. The equalizer comes in, and that's going to be the easy smite. Late on the laser there, as there was no hope really of stealing that one away. And now that's 2 Infernal Drakes to T1.
2 Infernal in a row, and I don't think so. This is just going to be impossible to deter. As you mentioned, Lux used her ult. She doesn't have it.
They're going. They're trying to get in here and steal it, but they will not, as Doran is not a jungler.
KT's a little bit closer than we thought.
Now this TP.
A little bit questionable.
Okay, Kana's really fast, but Faker less fast. He does have his Zhonya's and a flash, but he is just dead. A little bit greedy there to try to save that outer turret at this point in time. So nice equalizer will come in. T1 thinking about going in, and that's going to be the kill, but immediately traded back. As Jace is doing some insane damage, and now they don't want to get on in here, but Keria has other ideas. as he'll be able to acquire yet another target. There's another slow as Teddy is just chunking even Volibears at this point in time. Doesn't have that much armor.
You hit your Akali combo, you can get a kill, yes, but you will never win the extended fight, not when everyone's grouped on T1. Their composition just isn't able to do that anymore, and the call is going to be to come back here, as we're going to watch this once again. Bit of an aggressive TP coming through from Kana, then you see the landing here of Faker. But look at how much damage is actually done in this moment when we follow through. Like when we fast forward here, look at how much poke is actually onto the KT roster members. Everybody starts to get down to half, you know, 2/3 health. And by the time that Jace poke is there, you can't be here anymore. So yeah, you get the 1 kill back, but that's all you can get. And with the mantra, you know, that Keria has to actually spoon boost people forward, you don't get out either as KT. Like you're not going to be able to escape.
That one segment of the replay.
Their comp is just so easy to execute when they are grouped up like this. Doran's like, maybe I can get a stun, maybe we can get a root to follow it up, but it's so hard.
Blank nearly dies on the left side. Equalizer will easily get this in as the TP from Faker now. They've got 2 inhibitors down. And with the bat, no.
Dove actually finds Keria here. He does not have vision.
He's gonna try to get him, nearly takes him out there. You can see that Dove KT fan, but we'll see. I mean, the game isn't over, although it certainly does feel that way. We'll see if KT can get any picks. That's really the name of the game here. As now Teddy's kind of just going 1v4. It's just, again, I mean, you look at these compositions, even if it was even, like, you can't get near them as KT. Like, you're always going to be held at arm's length.
Doran's trying to flank.
And at this point, I don't think they even want to flip Barons. They're just going to go for the kills as somehow Blank will survive. Actually, TP does come in. Teddy a little bit overstepping his boundaries, but you can see that Senna just dies. Dove is trying his best, but at this point, buddy, it's a little bit too late. So that's going to be 3 kills. Teleports will come in, and T1 will look to end this game.
Very impressive, you know, adaptation here from T1 in the draft. Their draft ended up being a lot cleaner. They dealt with the Akali super well. She'll be 0-3 now.
Yeah.
In recent games.
And they're looking for more. Curry's going to be taken down by the Fountain, but his sacrifice is not in vain, as even the Equalizer was available after all that. That's game number 1, easily taken here by T1. There were a couple of like minor hiccups. They weren't even real hiccups. It's like when you swallow water the wrong way or something. And they were totally fine.
Yeah.
They just easily crushed them here in game 1.
They had a composition that, you mentioned it was difficult to execute. They were so far ahead. They ended up taking every Drake fight past the second one. And the Lux pick, as interesting as it was, the execution left a lot to be desired. And as you pointed out several times, against Keria's Karma, it's tough too because he's so mobile. But I think we could have seen a much better performance. I think we could have seen a lot more respect of Karma's roots. And Keria dominated that early game so hard that the bot lane was just free. Teddy was able to do whatever he wanted.
Standing close, it almost like I kind of helped Cuz off of the stage as...
Keria, take care of me, basically. It's funny because Keria, or she's actually, it's saying she's taking care of Keria, I think. I was gonna say, because I was like, Keria's like not, you know, actually that big. Neither is she, but I guess in the drawing that was the turnaround there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we expected. The Viego was never able to do anything. Dove found a couple of picks, but eventually you have target acquisition with the TF. I'm kind of surprised that Rumble didn't do that much damage, but by the end of it, it did.
아칼리 아칼리
야 위에 볼게 위에
박았다
nel슨을 잡았어.
오케이 아칼리 노고 아칼리 미드 오호 비고 잘 박았어
우리 조합이 너무 좋은데 이거? 편한데?
야나 가연 있어.
바텀에 죽은 게 크네.
볼베 노플이야. 볼베 노플 도금.
10초. 성구 죽여줄게.
성구 나이스.
알았어. 잘했다 우리 팀.